Well, there's good news to the millions of Kenyans living in remote regions that are not connected to the national grid, as they are set to benefit from an affordable solar-powered satellite TV service. This is through a partnership between Azuri Technologies and Zuku TV that will see households acquire a complete pay-as-you-go satellite TV package, then pay for the same in installments. Customers will pay a deposit of about 4,999 shillings to use the system, and then 149 shillings daily for 2 years via mobile money for the satellite TV service. The service, launched in Wakalia Market in Embu County, will only be available in select regions of central Kenya and will be rolled out progressively nationwide throughout 2017. Now targeting over 5 million households that are currently outside the power grid. According to Azuri Technologies CEO Simon Bransfield-Garth, who noted that rural off-grid consumers face freaky hurdles to being able to watch TV, access to power service coverage, while many rural areas have no TV signal and a high upfront cost of installation.
And enabling everybody in Kenya to have access to television and to the trappings of modern development, not just the people who live in cities, but every single citizen of the country.
Ningetaka watoto wetu mutumie hii Azuri ndio mufanye kazi ya shule.
Well, indeed, Simon Bransfield-Garth and Mr. Simon Gikonyo Mwangi are in studio here to give us the lowdown on that service. As, of course, Simon is the CEO of Azuri Technologies and Stanley is a beneficiary, one of the first ones indeed, of that pay-as-you-go solution. Both of you, welcome.
Thank you.
Simon, just to start off with you, the fact that this has been launched and launched in a place like Embu, what does it feel like to be able to say that you're able to bring this solution to Kenyans out there?
So I think it's a tremendous advance. We came to Kenya first 5 years ago, and at that point we were bringing very simple pay-as-you-go solar lights. Today we're seeing the same solar technology enabling people to have a 24-inch television, 48 channels of TV, and frankly it's a service that people will be very happy to have in Johannesburg, Accra, or any other major city in the world. So it's really no longer about bringing a small solar home system to rural communities, but enabling rural communities to get all the benefits that they might expect within a city.
You must have crunched the numbers before you went into this. What is the demand out there? Do you think the need is great?
Oh, there's a huge demand. So within Kenya itself, there are over 5 million households that are off-grid. And we believe that solar power is getting to the point where it is a really powerful alternative to grid power for people who are not in urban areas. So by being able to allow people to pay for the service as they use it, instead of having to buy it up front, people are able to get the service in an affordable way.
Stanley, let's come to you. One of the first beneficiaries of this service.
Yes.
What has been like and where are you coming from?
I come from Embu. This is very south.
Yes.
A remote place called Wakaria, just off the tarmac. And I am one of the beneficiaries of using this, the Pay Go Solar. As the name suggests, the Pay Go Solar.
Yes.
You are paying as you are doing other things. So you don't stop at a certain point that you want to do this and that. You have the solar and the TV with you as you continue with other businesses. One of the things that I've really enjoyed using this thing, it has a battery which is self-charging.
Yes.
It doesn't have any explosives like we have had in the past when we're using the ordinary batteries.
Yes.
Then in terms of payment, it's very affordable. You can be able to afford paying 149 per day after the initial installation. And I think this is what all the Kenyans need, whether you are in pre-urban or you are in the remote areas.
What has this service done for you? Because in the past, people used to depend on fast kerosene. Then after moving away from kerosene and firewood, people went into using the charged batteries where you'd have to tie it to your bicycle or take it on a matatu to the nearest town to charge. And then you'd put it on your Great Wall TV and once, 2 hours later, because the battery is old, the service becomes bad and that sort of thing. What is the difference it has been able to make?
Okay, I would point out on the kerosene usage. One, if you do your calculations, like in my homestead, you use like 70 shillings, between 50 and 70 shillings a day.
Every day, yes.
So in a week, you are spending over 350 shillings to learn the koroboi and the rest of the things.
Yes.
Look at the radio, because we still have a radio component which comes with the soda.
Yes.
You use the dry cells. You buy like twice or thrice in a month.
Yes.
Let's say it's 50 shillings
Yes.
in 3 times a week, three times a month.
So
That
50.
is 150.
Yes.
If you add that one out to the kerosene and the time you use going to the nearby.
And you still charge your mobile phone.
Yeah, yeah. And still you have a torch which
Yes.
can also charge from the same battery. Yeah.
So for people who, like you, who have families and have children, in the past your children had to struggle using those koroboi, as you're saying,
Yes.
to be able to read 9 o'clock, you're all tired, they smoke, that sort of thing. But now you have lights. What's the difference?
There is a big difference, because now the unit comes with 4 lighting units.
Yes.
We have 4 bulbs you can be able to use for your bedroom,
Yes.
your table room, where the children are also doing their studies.
Yes.
You can also keep one for the security lights. And on the other side, you don't have now to concentrate yourself like you have 2 children.
Yes.
They don't have to bring their heads together when they are doing their study. They can be well spread and do their studies.
Okay. Simon, I want to invite you over just so that you can take us through what exactly this is, because not many people are used to, sorry about that, the microphone, yeah. Just to be able to take us through what exactly this gadget is, because we're seeing a sort of kiosk. But just to understand, this is not the setup in the house. This is just a demonstration.
This is just a demonstration system.
Yeah, but you'd have this in your sitting room and these lights, one placed in each bedroom, right?
Yeah. So in your house, there's a solar panel which will go on your roof.
Yes.
You then have your television and the battery system in your living room, typically. You can then place the lights wherever you want within your house.
And there's 4 of them.
And you've got 4 lights.
Yes.
And then we have a rechargeable radio.
Yes.
And we have a rechargeable torch as well. So this battery is the latest battery technology. It's designed to last for 8 years
And
before
it's
it
really
needs to be
small
replaced.
compared
And it's
to the
really
batteries
small.
they use, yes.
This is the same technology that they use in electric cars. It's really the latest battery technology.
And because in the past, most people had to rely on the radio. Yeah, that's a medium wave, the BBC or something like that. This brings about 40 to 70 channels, depending on what you have to your house.
Correct.
That makes a huge difference for people in terms of knowledge and education.
Absolutely. And one of the things that people have said in the past is that when they put a TV in rural areas, the number of channels you get, it varies depending on where you happen to be. With satellite television, you get a consistent 48 channels of television and 21 channels of radio wherever you are in the country.
Yeah.
You don't have to have power, you don't have to have television signal, you can
Yes.
get it wherever you happen to be.
So does it come with a satellite dish component?
Yes, comes with a satellite dish, absolutely everything included,
Yes.
including the satellite television subscription.
In your opinion, in terms of cost, because we've gone through the mud with Stanley right here, the fact that you'd have to pay for kerosene, you'd have to pay for the transport to the town centers, you'd have to pay for maybe the 10 shillings that you'd use to charge
Yes.
so many different things.
Yes.
In comparison to that sort of expenditure and what you have here, where do you think the difference is?
Yeah, so certainly if you have a lighting system, a solar lighting system on its own is cheaper than kerosene,
Yes.
for sure. With the television, then it depends how much kerosene you use. But certainly you're saving a lot of money on kerosene, you're saving a huge amount of time on having to go and get your phone charged and so on. And everybody in the household can get 5 hours of TV every
Yes.
single night
Yes.
without having to go outside.
And most children in the past would not be able to read in the evenings, do their homework, that sort of thing. This
Yes.
essentially means that you're improving not just livelihoods, but also the future for children, because they're getting their homework in.
That's one of the things that we've been amazed about. We've had independent universities come and do studies.
Yes.
And on average, children do 2 hours extra homework every single night when they have solar power. So we've seen many examples where you have a child who is average in their class, who goes right to the top of their class inside 3 months,
Yes.
simply because they're doing that much more homework.
Yeah. And just to start to end us up, the fact that there are people who've bought into earlier products, the solar lights themselves, and they want to graduate into this sort of
Yes.
thing. Do they then come start afresh and buy the entire package, or is there an intermediate step where you can say, I already got the lights, and now I want to come into this one? Or is this graduating them into another level of consumption?
So customers have a choice. So
Yes.
many customers will say, actually, I'd like to buy the lighting system and keep it for another building or give to a relative or whatever. But customers who want to upgrade from their existing lighting systems to the TV system,
Yeah.
then we have a package which enables them to do that upgrade process. And progressively over time, we expect people to be able to add more and more capabilities to their homes.
In the past, when you went out selling the lights and through the M-Copper system and that sort of thing, what was the reception like? Because the demand is there. But in terms of sustainability and people being able to keep up with the payments, what was the experience?
So we found it tremendous. You know, when you have a lighting system, it costs you more for the kerosene than the lighting system.
Yes.
So if you stop using the lighting system, you're paying even more money. So there really is no incentive to go back. So we think it's a one-way street, that people are moving towards solar power,
Yes.
but then people are moving towards information, entertainment, and knowledge. And that helps people develop, it helps kids educate, it helps people earn more money in their businesses. And it's really fundamental to enabling rural communities to get access to many of the things that in other parts of the world people take for granted.
Yeah, finally, this is at the basic level. Globally, we have situations where they're feeding tariffs at the individual level. Places, things like what Elon Musk has done in some parts of the United States, where you have solar panels on your roof, and if the household is not able to consume everything, then you can sell back into the national grid.
Yes.
Do you think we will be able to get there and incentivize more people to start consuming products like this?
Well, that may happen, but actually I'll take issue with you. I don't believe this is basic.
Yes.
I think a 24-inch TV and 48 channels of
Definitely not
television,
basic, yes.
I'd be happy to have that in London or New York or anywhere else in the world.
Yes.
So I think we're getting to the point where solar power really is a viable alternative to other forms of energy.
And just as we wrap up, there are situations where we have lodges in the middle of the Masai Mara and other places, no access. They're not households,
Yes.
but safari camps. They could use, people want to watch soccer on Sundays and things like that.
Absolutely.
So this is a solution that could work for them, right?
Yes, absolutely. These systems are designed for houses, but we have many of our systems, existing systems, in schools, in
Yes.
hotels, in lodges, in all sorts of places all around the country.
Okay, as we take our seats so we can grill Stanley here just one more time. Stanley, very quickly from you, the fact that this is a product that then means that you will be able to start seeing your kids doing better in school. Sure. Maybe you can even start to do something else in the house in the evening. What does the future look like? Very quickly.
The future looks bright.
Yes.
Because now with this Pego Solar, you are able to save more money. Because the amount of money that we have been using to run other things like the kerosene, those dry cells, charging, going to the nearby shopping centers looking for these services, and the phone charging, all those money now will be pocketing that money, maybe to cater for children's education. Two, this is something that anybody can be able to use at home. Yes. You don't have to look for an expert. Immediately we set it up, you are able now to continue using the system. Still, I think having this, we'll be able now to connect our communities down there
Yes.
to the whole world.
Okay.
Yeah. You see, having 48 channels
Yes.
and 21 radio stations,
Is a big-
you are rest assured now you can be able to do business, you are farming and all the things that you need.
Yeah, Simon, finally, I come from Laikipia, and we have been in situations where virtually no TV over the terrestrial and non-digital thing, what we used to have. But a lot of people must now be asking, where can we find this? If I wanted to access this service, this solution, so where do I go?
Yeah, so just come to Azuri Technologies. We're available and we'll be delighted to provide you with the service.
Out there in the middle of Laikipia or in Nyeri or in Embu, so
Absolutely.
where do they go? Do you have shops set up all over the place?
Yes, we have shops. We're starting in central Kenya, but we're very rapidly rolling this out countrywide. And you'll be able to get this right across the country very early in 2017.
Okay. Indeed, thank you both gentlemen for taking the time to talk to us. Indeed, showing us how you're lighting up the countryside and informing and entertaining Kenyans right across the board. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, that is where we want to wrap it up today here on KTN Business Today on an inspirational note. Just to remind you that coming up next, of course, is World View with news making headlines right across the region, right across the world, and here in Nairobi. Of course, we can meet again here tomorrow at exactly the same time for yet another edition of KTN Business Today. From us here in studio, it is do have yourselves a good afternoon and kwaheri until next time. My name is Peter Wakaba.